Hi, it's Lou, October 24th. Just going for a little walk. I don't want to sing the song that's in my head, but it's there for a reason why. Oh, happy day. That's what's in my head, okay? But I'm not thinking about all the rest of those words, I don't think. However, I have talked about baptism lately. Because what that says, when you listen to the rest of the words, it says, oh, happy day when Jesus washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus he washed my sins away. Now, you can get excited about that if you got a bunch of sins, people. If you really believe that Jesus walked this earth. And then he taught the gospel, and he taught what his dad sent him to say. And when you look at Jesus, you are looking at God too. He says that. Now, does he mean you're looking at my Father? And then there's that one spot that I read, you guys, that it's in 3 Nephi, chapter 1. It's actually in verse 14. It's a tricky little wording thing that you got to look at. And then what I just read today, it's either today or yesterday. It's today. It's got to be. He said he was the Father and the Son in that scripture. And it's one to ponder over. And then the one today, he said, when you have seen me, you have seen God. Now, does he mean that he looks exactly like his dad? Or does he mean you're actually looking at God, who is Jesus Christ? Now, isn't that a trip? Think about that. Put some things together, it makes you wonder. Makes me wonder anyway, maybe I shouldn't. Because you see them, and they say they are separate. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. A Trinity. But it's just a thought. It could be just like I said, there's all kinds of things we can't even grasp a hold to. But like, say you could split yourself off into 3 beings. I was smiling at that guy over there. He's got a little baby up against his chest, and he's doing the little bouncing thing. Comforting. It's a comfort thing. Like God the Father comforts us. So anyway, I've had a real hard time with that. Probably because of certain scriptures I've read. But there are those who were apostles who have written the definition or answer to that question. So I read in, where was that? Was it Mormon Doctrine? I think it was Mormon Doctrine. So you members of the church, if you want to go and look, Mormon Doctrine, and look up the topic, Godhead. There's Godhead, there's God, there's Godhood. There's all kinds of things right there in that section. But each topic has its own thing written. And then also, it wasn't that long ago that I read in the book Jesus the Christ by James E. Talmage. It's all about Jesus, okay? And I only read 2 chapters, and it was really heavy, really heavy. So if you want some really good stuff to read, go do that. Noah, is that the one you read? Or you went and looked up for me? Said it was 1915, I think is what you said, was written by James E. Talmage. Jesus the Christ. And I don't know a lot about it. I just remember it was really heavy stuff, good stuff. But also sometimes when things are, I found myself having a hard time pronouncing some of his words, and also knowing the meaning of those words. So if a person wanted to, they could, have pen and paper, like I said, put it next to you, and then get the scriptures. If you don't already have them, get them on your app. It's an app, and it's free. And in that particular place, okay, down at the bottom, there's these little books that are drawn on a shelf. You tap on that, okay, and it'll take you to books. And then there's several different, they'll show you different, okay, first it starts with the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, I'm pretty sure, but maybe it's just Bible. And then, no, I think they've separated it. And then the Book of Mormon, Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants. I have a hard time remembering all these things. But Jesus the Christ is there also, but you can read for it yourself. And it has the earphones where it will read it to you. Okay, so that cuts out one of the problems. I should have it read to me because I'm interested. It's really good stuff. Things you will not just know and you won't see unless someone guides you there. Okay? So even though I can guide, there are those who really know their stuff and who are also tight with the Lord. Real tight. Tight enough to be an apostle. We're just little disciples out here. A disciple is a student, and you can be a student all the days of your life and still have more you need to know. No, I'm not saying my words right. I said low instead of no. Okay. Anyway, one never knows what Lou will say. Not even Lou. And that is one of the things. I have to watch what I say, okay? Because you guys might think I'm really a loony too. But those of you who have experienced the Spirit, and then not just that, but in certain instances when you're out there visiting with someone and all of a sudden your conversation is gone through a certain thing, and then you find that you've answered the questions of the other person without being asked. You have given them what they need. And I have seen that happen a few times. Just little miraculous little things. Important things, really. Like the girl who was plagued with nightmares. And she was seeing a doctor for it. I gave her a trick to at least try to get to sleep without the nightmares, and then maybe you're in a deep enough sleep you won't remember those. Hello, kitty. I know, kitty. Yeah, I know. Have to keep going. Anyway, like I was saying earlier about being a vessel, leave yourself open. Don't worry about what you're going to say. God will give it to you. Was it Joshua? Talking about Moses. And then there was, I think Moses and Aaron must have been there. I wonder if that Aaron has anything to do with the Aaronic priesthood. That would be a trip. Anyway, one of them was the mouthpiece for somebody else. And maybe it was, I'm taking off from the movie instead of the Bible. And I don't know why I mentioned Joshua. Don't even know, unless it was somebody had to do with Moses. But being a mouthpiece, or opening up your mouth, just don't worry about what you got to say, because the Spirit will give it to you. It'll just come pouring out of your little mouth. Unbeknownst to you, just be willing and able. And then you know after. But I have had that happen a few times in the last year. So, and in the last little while, I told that story. And that was the nightmare story. And then I went over to the next building and went in, because Dad wanted me to. He says, I got to the car and he says, I want you to go over there. And what he wanted, I'm telling you people, Dad loves fruitcake. And they sell fruitcake at Christmas time. And it was Big Lots. So I went over there to ask about fruitcakes. But it's a seasonal deal. They don't have it all the time. Anyway, Papa Bear loves fruitcake. So if I find fruitcake, I'll have to give him one. Or two or three or four, store up. That's what I do. I find something I haven't had, especially not being able to get it, I'll be finding some extras, storing that sucker up. It's part of food storage. I know these people probably think I'm weird. I sit here talking to my phone, walking up and down in front of them. This is the guy with the baby. It's so sweet. Love to see daddies loving on their children. That baby is probably about 2 months old, maybe 3. But see, it's sleeping on his chest, so you can't really tell much. I know I'm walking because I need to. Now I'm talking again because I need to. Seems to be what's on my mind, Definitely know that I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so, that's why I'm excited about YouTube. That's why I'm excited, because I can say things, that I need to say to everybody. But it takes that right given circumstance for a good communique. I don't know if you guys are understanding me. I need to put that up there because I'm showing you a bad part of my face. Man, don't like it. Okay. I was going to say, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? For that last 10 years that I was on my property, I didn't have a mirror in front of my face all the time. So I didn't really see me very much. You know how some people have mirrors by the front door, which is what I just showed you? Oh, I showed you and then I deleted it. What I look like when I left, there's a mirror by the front door, a full-length mirror. So you can see, maybe you need to fix something. Anyway, it would have been a good idea to have mirrors around so you knew what you looked like, so you could fix it. Because you can make yourself prettier sometimes. I've been seeing videos on my newsfeed about, and these girls were young, taking this tape. They'll take and they'll pull up their eyebrow and they'll stick tape on it and then put it up here so it holds their eyebrow up. It's an idea. There's a thing you can put on your eyelid that will help open up your eyes, because that is a deal. Your skin starts covering your eyes. Makes it hard to see too sometimes. Plus you just don't look that good like that. Yes. I didn't ask for any pain pills. I should have. I mostly wanted to take care of those hot flashes, man. But my back does hurt. But I've tried to just not take them either. I only take them when I need to, or when I feel like I need to. And just like when you're taking a walk, if you're under the influence of the pain pill, it's easier to walk. And if walking is one of those things you need to do, see, then it has a double purpose. My back does hurt. Not all the time. Right now it's hurting. Because I'm walking fast and I'm pounding the pavement. I'm talking to you guys, so I'm not paying attention. So it's all your fault. It's not your fault. Okay. I didn't show you the trees, did I? Maybe you saw them when I turned around. Okay. Big old bunch of trees over there. And see those houses at the bottom? Those houses are huge. So it tells you those trees are huge. They're not, I don't think they're as big as those eucalyptus trees that I saw in Northern California. That was a long time ago, and I was at a certain place. You know, maybe there are different groves of trees where some are older than others. Do 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 do. Life. I just need to concentrate on the things that I know, the things that I know I need to do. Forget about dreams. Let's see what happens. We've been watching Wednesday. The word nevermore just came to mind. I think they have a place on that show called Nevermore. Wonder what they meant. If that's the place where you go for exile, or the place, yeah, where you're, I don't know what it is. I'll have to check that out because it just could be excluded from that particular area because it was about no, they kept saying the outcast. But what they're really talking about was also different, I want to say gifts, but not, okay? Because like one girl is going to turn into a werewolf. She finally does at the end. And then one girl is a siren. And one guy is Hyde, the monster. He's a monster. But then there's someone who made him that way. Trained him as her puppet. That was a teacher. Just saying. Weird trip show, and then start thinking about it. Things that they could mean, too, you know. And the opposite. Okay, I gotta stop. Maybe I'll sit in my car. No, maybe I won't. I need to keep going. See, I'm right in my car. And that would make my back feel better. I was talking about in the reverse. Been hearing that on these tarot readings that I've been listening to. They're just curiosity. But they do talk about cards in the reverse. Meaning instead of going forward, they're going backwards. Like if somebody was going forward towards something, but it was in the reverse, then he'd be going backwards. Like running away, maybe. But you do have to remember they're just for entertainment. And sometimes they seem so real. But then, you gotta remember where those words are coming from too. Makes me wonder Anyway, so what was I talking about in the reverse? Before I got carried away to that. It's about the spirit, okay? It was about that show, Wednesday. And all the different kids with their different things. You could call it a fairy tale. Grimm's fairy tale. Anyway, like one kid had snakes. He wore a beanie all the time, a toboggan, put the snakes inside there. One time he jumped out of the shower. You know, he didn't jump out of the shower, and you didn't see nothing except for his upper and his head and these snakes, but he saw himself in the mirror and froze himself. So he's one of them. I can't remember what the person was called in other shows that was like that with the snakes. So I've seen that in a couple shows, old ones. I can't remember it now, what it was even called, but I used to watch it. What was it? I don't know if that'll come to me, it was so long ago. But anyway, whoever the person is with the snakes, that was also in Harry Potter, too. So if they saw the reflection, I think they were talking about the basilisk, big old snake. Strange things out there. I'll try to get unstrange here. We'll just forget about that conversation. I was comparing the gifts of God to the opposite of, maybe. Because those aren't really necessarily gifts, what they have. And they would be considered outcasts. You don't want to have them stay away from you. Especially if they can hurt you. See, that's the deal. Gifts of God. Powers of God, gifts unto his children. Okay, just what I just said. If you want to go find that on my channel, that's how you would put it. That's the title. Powers of God, space, gifts unto his children. And then you would put on, lose, touch. And you have to spell lose touch just right, okay? I don't know about the capitals, but LOU' space TOUCH. That should show up because it is the title of that video. As in, turn on your light so you're not in the dark. That's one too. Just always say on, lose, touch. Just how my channel is spelt. Then it should show up because there's millions of views out there. Videos, excuse me, not views of mine. I wish. That would be a trip. But no, I don't know what my point was that. I have great papers. That's what my point is. I want you to put it on your search bar and go to it and read it. And it's not you reading it, it's me reading it to you. Pretty special indeed, actually. And I don't know what all the names of my things are. One of them is I Wonder When My Day Will Be. That's the title. And then just put on Loose Touch. And then I just don't know. I've got my book upstairs. So I'm really tempted to just go ahead and read them again. And post them again. And then this time just read it and not... Because what I did in the beginning was I did commentary. I talked about it. Now, I get carried away. And I did turn on your light so you're not in the dark. I believe that is the one. So when I got all done reading that doesn't take much time to read it, okay? So when you see there's a really long video to go with it, that's me talking a lot. Anyway, I got carried away on that one. I think that is the one. I got on a tangent about marijuana. And I think it's really good. But then certain people probably wouldn't think so because of how they feel. But it was good. I might have said some bad words too. I'm not sure. Need to go back and find out. I should listen to it all, and then I should hashtag it better and also warn about the bad words. So I did get carried away because I have a lot of feelings about the law, the stupidity, the ruination of lives, which is also ruining the rest of us. Because all of us have somebody involved, one way or another. We have people in our family that are in prison. I really don't know about that, as far as our family goes. I'm just saying there's a lot of people affected. Affected, effect. Just to give an effect. So yeah, affected, E-F-F-E-C-T-E-D. Ruining lives, ruining children who haven't grown up yet, making them go without their parents. That's the answer, right? Let's throw them in jail and let's throw those kids in foster care and let's start this ball rolling down a hill that just keeps gathering and gathering more problems. The children need their parents. I mean, if it's all over marijuana, why are they in jail? And why have the children gone through hell? And why are we paying for it? People, we are. Not just paying for their care at the facility, but all of the detriment that is extended from that. And then those children who are growing up with scars, emotional scars, and then they get married, or not even get married. They don't believe in marriage because of their family life sucked. But the whole point is, kids are still being born. And do they have parents? Do they have a happy home life? Our home is our sanctuary. And if you don't have one, I've been under a lot of stress lately. And it is true, stress kills. And stress also encourages the growth of cancer. I think it makes you like an acid type. Because see, I thought, oh great, I got some alkaline water. But then you find out that the foods you eat can change your system to acid or neutral. And then your attitude, the stress, depends. All kinds of things can affect your stress level, your acidity. I laugh because I can't pronounce it, sorry. Whether you're acid or neutral. But I did read something about, see, I never did get those. My naturopath wanted me to get those strips where you can test your pH. But I read lately that baking soda neutralizes. So if you did have the strip and you checked yourself and you had a high pH, then you take some baking soda and it would go down. It neutralizes your system. I don't know how much you'd need, My naturopath was telling me for a whole different reason to take baking soda. She wanted me to take a quarter teaspoon in the morning and a quarter at night. And really what she wanted was a half in the morning and half at night, but she didn't know if I'd be able to tolerate it. So she wanted me to start with a quarter. But I forgot all about that. And her purpose, her reasoning was it's worth a shot. And that it came from a study, a very small study, that was saying that cancer is a fungus and that baking soda kills the fungus. I wonder if that would help. Caroline. I gotta sit down, so I'm going to go back up to my room. My walk is over. Hey, that was 30 minutes. That's pretty good. Okay, it's dark in here. I probably ought to just shut it off so you can have a shorter video. Maybe that's what I'll do, okay? I will, because I need to attend to a couple, 3 things anyway. Love you, people. Love yourselves. Sorry about getting old. I guess that's what it is, you know. My hair's thinning out. Things are weirding out. It's part of life. But we should do our best to make it better, right? I'll give you my eyeballs for a second. I think I made extra coffee this morning, so I think I will pour some in the pot or in the cup. What I really am supposed to be doing is drinking water. But as far as this treatment thing that I got going on, they want me to have 64 ounces of fluid, and they don't care what kind of fluid. They want you to have the fluid. And that's Groovy Grapes. I just have a hard time drinking. But, you know, those things called habits throughout the years. Never drank water. You guys make sure you do, but make sure it's clean. Run it through a filter. I'm trying to get this in the microwave. Make it so it's really enjoyable. Okay, that'll be good. So far away. Let's see, not just miles, but time. Time can seem so far away. Or your goals, what you want to reach. I do have a lot of things I need to do. And I am scattered, man. I tell you what, it's part of me. I think it's nobody ever diagnosed me, but except for actually one. I was taking Joe to the chiropractor, and I was talking to the chiropractor, and I was right in the middle of a conversation, and right in the middle of a sentence, I went off into left field somewhere else. And he says, "Oh, do you have a little ADD?" Well, yeah, I think I do. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain for everybody because it's hard to keep track of what I'm saying, unless you know what I'm saying. You know, like we've been together, and you now know because you've been with me long enough. Nothing's funny, really. And I should let you guys have a nice, short, little walk. Oh, man, do you realize what the number was? I'm still going to do it. Love you, people.